Summer of 2013. I'm in Mumbai, India, working for 3 weeks. Thirst leads me to post a meat pic on Craigslist to see what's up. After filtering through all the men and bots, I started a convo with a female. She sends a pic. I'm like, cool. So we meet up at this mall called Phoenix Market in Curio West. It had a bar called the Irish Pub. So I'm waiting for her to show up and she pulls up with a dude. I didn't think anything of it. So we were chatting it up and vibing, and she puts her hands on my knee. I put my hand on hers. Eye contact on point. Shit's feeling like it's about to go down. She says, would I like to come with her to her friend's house? As she motions towards her friends, who was sitting at the bar looking at us. Now this was the first red flag, but I'm so thirsty, I'm like, fuck it. So we all jump in the car. It's a nice Benz C-Class. For the area of Mumbai that we were in, the car stood out a little bit. I'd been traveling by rickshaw and van up until that point. He's driving and I'm in the back seat with her. She starts making out with me. So I let it go down. She eventually pulls my dick out and starts slurping me down. She was feeling good until I look up at the rearview mirror and make eye contact with her goofy ass friend. Red flag number 2. She stops on some like, let's save it for later type shit. So we're making our way back to her friend's house. I'm starting to get paranoid because we've been driving for like 20 minutes across the bridge. So we get to this nice apartment closer to downtown Mumbai. We walk up the stairs and lo and behold, it's some other older Indian dude's crib. So now it's me, the dude she came with, and some other older dude in the living room. She greets this dude with an open mouth kiss and shit. Red flag number 3. Now I'm like 3 red flags deep, but the thirst forced me to just see what happens. She then tells me that the dude that drove us there was her boyfriend, and they're swingers, and that she's never been with a black man, and started asking me what I was comfortable with doing. I was like, just fucking you, because the way homie made eye contact with me already had me thinking he wanted me to clap his cheeks too. And the old dude looked like a grimy Apu. They laughed and assured me that everyone was straight. Their only request was that her boyfriend had to watch. 4th, red flag. So we go to the bedroom and I start sucking the titties. She's grabbing and stroking my meat. This lame is just standing in the door looking and shit. I just focus on her and eventually I stop paying him attention. I start digging into her guts. After a while I flip her over and hit it from the back. It was then that I happened to divert my attention over my shoulders. And the man was butt-ass naked, fapping. And there was a camera set up. My meat immediately started to get soft. So she told him to leave. He leaves, saying something that sounded disrespectful in Hindi. But the camera is still there. I didn't pay it any mind. He was gone and she was dripping wet. She had that grip too. That shit that hug your dick when she climaxes. So my meat is kind of soft still, but the thirst had me like, fuck it. So I took the rubber off and ended up clapping them cheeks for another 15 minutes until I nutted raw inside of her. After that, I was in a rush to leave. She was trying to get me to stay. I think she wanted me and the old dude to tag team her. But at that point, my post-nut and disgust shame kicked in. The thirst really led me to be somewhere in the middle of the night on another continent with 3 strangers. They made me pay for a cab back to the apartment I was staying at. I felt like a slut. The next day she emailed me and told me how much she enjoyed it. And was also like, we watched the video. We noticed you took the condom off. It was not cool, but we can still link again, just me and you. I tried to set it up again too. Shit just didn't pan out. Finessing a stripper. I went to a stripper's home to have sex for $100. We were cool, so I spent the night. In the morning, she was supposed to follow me to the bank so I could pay. But when we got in our cars, I sped off in the other direction. I used to be in the Navy. After 4 months at sea, we pulled into Jacksonville. I hooked up with this thick chick that I met at the mall. I was at her house one weekend when her parents came home. I had to hide in her bedroom for like 4 hours. I actually got caught. She had a special needs brother who spotted me and kept trying to rat me out. But they didn't know what man hides side men. After 4 hours, I beat the brakes off of her and had to wait another hour for a cab. Never spoke to her again. She was the first thick chick I had ever had sex with. It was almost worth getting caught, I have to be honest. I was out of town one weekend, attending a conference. An old hookup buddy from college lived in the same city and invited me to come see her. When I told her I was coming to town, I had nothing but fond memories of her, so I was definitely going to take her up on the offer. The night before the conference, I had nothing to do, so I phoned her up. She agreed to let me come through. I booked an Uber to the address she texted me, and I was on my way. She lived in an apartment complex. She was actually outside to greet me when I arrived, and she took me inside. Let's make no mistake, our relationship was purely sexual. We started with drinks and spent a few minutes catching up, but after that we went straight to the bedroom. Straight to the task. Just when things were getting good, her phone rang. She jumped up and took her phone to the hallway. In my mind, this was no biggie. I thought she would just end the call and get back to the action. But this chick yelled, "No, I have company." Like a fool, I thought nothing of this. Then she ran back to her bedroom and started getting dressed. Me, still in bed, with nothing on but my socks and a t-shirt, asked if things were okay. She told me that a friend was here. Can you believe that I stayed in bed? I was stiff as a board with liquor flowing through me. I only had one thing on my mind. She closed the door as I sat in her bed, relaxed as hell. God, I was so stupid. Next thing I know, I hear rumbling like people tussling. She had a puppy in a cage, and it started barking all crazy. I heard her yell, "Calm down!" I told my idiot self that her dog was just acting up. Any normal person would have been on high alert and getting dressed. Me? I was just chilling. My head was in the clouds, too relaxed to use logic. The rumbling got louder. It was like it moved from the front of her place back to the bedroom. I couldn't believe what was happening. Like, I had an idea what was happening, but I refused to believe this was really happening. The door busted open, and a big black silhouette stood in the doorway. "Don't come back here again." Before me stood a faceless, angry man. The lights were out, so I never got to see who was in front of me. All I knew was that he was built like a beast, and he might have a weapon. I jumped to the side of the bed. My lady friend stumbled in the room and wrapped her hands around him. "Calm down, please calm down." This only made things more scary. I was for sure she was trying to talk him out of shooting me. The way the bedroom was structured, the bed was centered in the back of the room. My clothes were on the left side, and I was on the right. The very angry man was standing in the doorway. The only way out. I was trapped, and I had no idea what this guy was planning to do. As seconds rolled by, my fear increased. I was drunk and had no pants on. I was in no shape to fight. When I tell people this story, they always ask me why I didn't just fight the guy. In my opinion, fighting with no clothes on is savage. Something that you do in prison showers when you drop the soap. I was not about to engage this man with an exposed penis. Oh no, I was shook, scared to death, scared to look. He made his move. He leaped towards me. My reaction was to jump to the other side of the bed. I grabbed my pants and booked it, leaving my shoes and my gum. I glanced to the right of me to take account of where he was. With a little bit of light that shined from the hallway, I could see her grabbing onto him with everything she had. With my pants in my hand, I just ran. I was moving off straight adrenaline. Now thinking back on it, I had to make a few cuts and turns to make it out of there. But at that time, I felt like I was moving in a straight line. The only thing I remember is leaving her bedroom and catching my breath in a wooded area behind her apartment complex. Everything between that is a blur. When I was able to get my pants back on, check my belongings, my phone and my wallet were still in my pocket, so I was good. Whatever I left in that apartment was gone forever. I was able to find my way back to a nearby gas station, where I ordered an Uber back to my hotel. I can only imagine how crazy I looked walking in the store with no shoes on. I haven't spoken to my lady friend about the incident since it happened, so I never got an explanation. I don't know who that dude was. Maybe she was in a relationship. Maybe he was just a jealous ex. All I know was that he was ready to unleash the beast on me. I could have been really roughed up. Or worse. Stay safe out there.